All right, everybody, today's going to be a lot of fun because we're going to take the last lesson, which we started to talk about triads in the fourth form major scale, the diatonic. And remember, we're including all the notes now, so it's 7 notes. Plus the octave here. So that's a lot of choices when you're soloing, and it can be a little bit overwhelming. That's why a lot of people prefer pentatonic, because at least you get rid of 2 of those options. So with pentatonic, you'd have this. So you get all your pentatonic licks. But eventually you got to break out of that box and try to do a little bit more diatonic soloing. And I know a lot of people kind of freak out about it at first, but if you just start small and start with chord targeting tones, which are the triad notes we learned last time, makes life a lot easier for you. So let's do this. I have a backing track today. It's nothing special. It's just G major over and over again. And it's a really good way to start off without overwhelming yourself, is to start off with just one chord and try some triad ideas over it. Try to target the chord tones. Since it's just a G chord the whole time, the notes that you're going to target are going to be the G, B, D. Then the next octave, G, B, D, and G. So the first way we're going to practice this is just going to be the arpeggio going up and down. So we're going to go. And then backwards. We'll do that over the backing track, and of course every note's going to sound great because all the notes are in the chord that's being played in the background. All right, let's give it a try. Here we go. 2, 3, go. One more time. Okay, it's as simple as that. Just do that a bunch of times. Record yourself playing to a backing track, maybe just a G chord, or creating a backing track. There is a backing track online somewhere that's just one chord. You can search for that one. Anyways, that's the first way to do this, okay? Start off with that. The next thing you want to do is you want to start to feel what it's like to go from the arpeggio, or the chord tones that we just did, also known as the triads. That's 3 ways of looking at it. And we're going to add the scale as well. So what you could do is you can go arpeggio up, scale backwards, and then do the opposite. And you're going to see that it's going to help you blend the 2 worlds. So if you're always just hitting chord tones, it can get a little bit redundant and kind of boring because everything sounds so perfect. So what you could do is you can climb using the arpeggio, and then just go backwards in the scale. So that's just the first octave, but you can go to the next octave. And timing it with the backing track can be a little weird, but let's just see how that works when we do this. 2, 3, 4. So you see how it didn't end even or anything like that with the last beat, but it's just to have something going on in the background while you do this. So if you get a loop that's continuous, you could just keep doing that over and over again. So climb up the arpeggio, come backwards using the scale. So without the backing track, you'll have the arpeggio, G, B, D, G, B, D, G. And then from there, what I did in that case is I didn't hit the G again, I just started going backwards in the scale. I just went. If you know the entire scale. Okay, so that's one way to do it. Now let's go the opposite way. Let's do the arpeggio backwards and then climb up, ascending the actual diatonic scale. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Okay, that time I decided to go back down the arpeggio again. It's a lot of fun, actually. Don't try to improvise too soon. A lot of people do that, and then they just lose track of that magnetism that I talk about that you can start to achieve when you practice your chord tones for a long period of time. So now when I play in this form, my fingers automatically, when the G chord is happening, I can automatically go magnetically almost to all the chord tones. Like my fingers just want to go to those notes. And you might think that's a limitation, like, oh, your fingers are always going to make the decisions for you. But that's not true. It's just like having the ability to do it is comforting because I can stay within the chord that's being played if I want to. Then later, when it goes to like a C chord or a D7 or some other chord in that key, I can morph into those magnetic tones. So we'll get more into the magnetic tones later on, but that's kind of going to be the main way I'm going to teach improvising over chord changes. Okay, so let's start with that G. Go crazy, and eventually, like I said, you're going to be able to incorporate both of them while improvising. That's going to be our next lesson for sure. All right, guys, hopefully that helps you out. Give it a practice run. Remember, that's just in the key of G. You could do this in any key you want. Let's say it's in the key of C. You just got to come up to the 8th fret on the 6th string. It's going to be the C 4th form bar chord, and then you could do the appropriate scale. It's going to be the same shape as what we did for G, but now it's going to be in C. Get a backing track that's all C and go crazy doing that. So remember, arpeggio is going up and down, and then arpeggio up, scale down, and then opposite of that. And you should be getting a good head start on improvising over chords. Okay, thanks. Bye.